Have you ever wondered why you are struggling to receive the visions of the Lord? And seeing into the realm of the Spirit has been so difficult for you. There are only two reasons why you cannot really do that proper. And number one has to do with the information concerning vision that you have. If the information around vision is poor, you would likely not even see anything. And if also, that is to say, number two, your energy level in the spirit is low, you cannot also be able to see visions. So in order for you to have a glimpse into the realm of the spirit, you need to be able to master these two. One, have more insight, that is knowledge, into the vision realm. And two, keep on empowering yourself or receiving energy or drawing energy from within you through prayer and meditation. Now, what is a vision? A vision is simply seeing into the realm of the spirit or receiving a sight into the spiritual world. Now, basically, there are three ways visions may be talked about. We have the physical vision. That is the sight you are receiving by watching this video. And everyone have that one. The second kind of vision that people mostly talk about has to do with the entrepreneurship kind of vision, where they talk about having visions, goals, and stuff like that. That is the mental vision. And the third kind of vision is simply the one we are about to digest. Now, what you need to know is that vision in general has to do with seeing things in the spiritual realm. So now, if I am a prophet or I'm a spiritual Christian, what I must know when it comes to visions is this. We have the vision that comes into your mind. Others may refer to it as a mental vision. Some others too might call it an open vision. But this is simply a vision that takes place within the screen of your mind. And that is also to say that when such a vision happens, it happens when your mind is still active. It means you are so conscious of yourself, yet you see that vision. For instance, if I decide to call you and I'm prophesying to you, what you need to understand is that my active mind is working, yet I see the vision, I hear from God, and I talk to you. That is an open vision. And when you have an open vision, you should know that there is the next one called the closed vision. Now, the closed vision is where instead of the vision happening in your mind, you rather fall into the vision and you become part of the vision. So in this case, the vision is not in you, but you are rather in the vision. And this is where your active mind gets suspended for a while, so that you no longer know yourself, whether you are in the spirit or in the flesh. So in most cases, people refer to it, and even in the Bible, it is called trance. So in this type of vision, you fall into it, just like someone falling into a sleep. You fall into it. So we call it falling into a trance. You are caught up between sleep and also being awake. You cannot tell whether you are awake or whether you are asleep. And this type of vision is where you begin to see everything in a detailed way, more better than the open vision. Because when it comes to open visions, you receive mostly a mental interaction. So having understood these two types, there is yet another type called an inner vision. An inner vision is a vision that has occurred in the spirit, which your spirit has received a glimpse of it. But when you got up, you couldn't capture it. So it is trapped within your inner self, your intuition. So that kind of vision is there. So before you'll be able to recall it most of the times, when you wake up from sleep or you come to your senses, you know that you saw something, but you cannot tell exactly what it is. In most of the case, people like that, sometimes when they see that what they saw has occurred, then it will occur to them that this thing looks like they have seen it before. Yes, there is a vision that you saw, but you couldn't really capture it, and it got trapped in you. And when you saw the event now folding up, then it occurred to you that this thing has happened before. Now, when you know these three main type of spiritual or prophetic visions, you now need to understand that there are several ways that visions comes to you, and it's important for you to know that. The first way a vision comes to you is what we call reality visions. When we talk about reality visions have to do with what you see in the spirit is exactly what is about to unfold. It is not coded. It is very plain. And with such visions, you mostly don't need an interpretation because it is self-explained and detailed. For instance, Jesus saw Nathanael under the fig tree. So before Nathanael came, Jesus already have seen him. That is a reality vision. There are also two kinds of reality visions. We have what we call the pictorial type of visions, where you begin to see the things in imagery forms. And we have what we call the panoramic kind of reality visions, where you see the vision in a form of emotion graphics, such that everything you see looks like a video. But the other one, the pictorial, you see it more in a portrait form, but it is a reality visions. The second way that visions comes to you is the symbolic kind of visions. And when we talk about symbols, I know you are not a child not to know symbols. Symbols talks about numbers, letters, anything that is a sign pointing to the reality. For instance, when you see a signboard is a symbol pointing to the real thing. For instance, let's talk about the church where you fellowship. If you have a signboard or a signpost, what you need to know is that that signboard is not the real thing, but the signboard is there to point people to the real thing. So symbolic visions point you to the real thing. So you need to be able to master how to interpret some of these symbols, because you will need them to guide you into knowing what the vision is. For instance, when you see the cross of Jesus, that should tell you that the vision has everything to do with the gospel. If you see a casket, you should know that the vision has everything to do with death. If you see certain things culturally or traditionally, it should tell you much about your traditions, what those symbols means. The third way a vision comes to you is what we call the parabolic kind of visions. Have you ever dreamed, or maybe you saw a vision of yourself catching fish in the sea? Of course, what you saw as fishes in the sea is not actually fishes. Remember, Jesus said that I will make you fishers of men. So there is a parabolic kind of visions, how visions might come to you. Sometimes someone can dream or have a vision seeing himself picking eggs or picking gold or doing mining or something that is a storytelling. You see yourself in a story kind of line. And those stories explain deeper spiritual truth. For instance, Jesus told the people of the farmer that went to sow. So you could equally receive a dream and see yourself sowing. Some falling on the rockside and stuff like that. So you realize that at the end of the day, Jesus gave the meaning. So this type of vision and the symbolic vision are all coded, which means that you have to decode it. You have to break it down in order to get the actual meaning. And don't forget that your intuition is the overall interpreter of every kind of vision that you receive. Whether coded or not coded, your intuition is what gives you the understanding of every vision. I don't care what people have written so far on social media, 7 types of animals you must take note in your visions or dreams. But I must tell you that the most accurate interpreter is your intuition and not what people have listed there. Because what they list there can fail, but your intuition cannot fail you. The last way that visions can come to you is what we call the retail or the puzle kind of visions. The puzle type of visions, they come in pieces. For instance, you woke up in the morning and you saw 2. And that was all you saw. The next moment, you saw another number. Within some short time, you saw another number. These are puzzles. Puzzles means they are so scattered that those type of visions, you need to assemble them to get the actual meaning or what it has to say. So you see, if you are not really schooled well in the area of visions, you are going to be missing a lot, and you wouldn't know how to be able to receive such visions. I remember in the prophetic class, there was a gentleman that I asked them to close their eyes and they will receive a kind of vision, which is the mental type of visions. When he closed his eyes, what he saw was a rabbit and a car. But you see, when I asked him, have you seen anything? He said, no. Then I asked him more further, did anything came to your mind? He said, yes, I remember whilst I was quiet, all of a sudden, I started thinking about a rabbit. And I said, of course, that was the information God was giving you. God decided to keep it, wrap the information with the animal called rabbit. If you could understand the rabbit and allow yourself and seek details from your intuition, then you would have gotten what it means. So I began to focus on his vision before I realized I had a meaning. And the meaning was that this gentleman has been jobless for a long time. So he's hopping from one place to the other, searching for jobs, and couldn't find none. So the Lord was saying that now you are about to move from being a rabbit into being a car owner. So he saw 2 symbolic items in the spirit, but he couldn't understand. So this is your prophetic coach, Gilbert, and I'm here to mentor you and help you to walk in the vision realm and in the prophetic. Thank you. Bye.